Hello and welcome back to Just Callum. Today we're going to be looking at specifically tarp tents. But we've already looked at tarp tents. We're going to look at them in a very different aspect. What is that aspect, I hear you ask? Well, quite simply, it's stealth tarp tenting. I'm going to show you 3 very useful tarp tent setups that you can do in a forest or in a flat field. Stick around to find out more. Okay, so starting off, we're going to look at the first 2 tarp tents, which include, the reason I'm holding this, it's a ridgeline. So I'm going to take my ridgeline out and I'm going to set it up between these 2 trees here. So this is a new type of tying off knot that I've recently learned, and it's called the falconer's knot. This will probably be I'll show you this properly in a future short. So what you're going to do, like always, is you want to throw your line around the tree as you would, and specifically as we're doing stealth setups, you do not want your line any higher than your waist, and that is specifically to avoid the natural gaze of someone walking past from seeing it. So to start off with, all you're going to do is take your line, grab with 2 fingers your loose tail, your thumb is going to come over behind your line that's gone around the tree, behind the tail, come back round the main line, twist, and you're just going to pull a loop or a bite through that line, that little hole there. Okay, and you have a bite like that, and all you'll now do is give that a pull, anchor that back and forwards, and that is rock solid. And all you'd have to do if you wanted to release it is just pull the tail and it comes off. So that's what we're going to do on this side, the falconer's knot. Now you'll have heard of the other side, you'll know it very well. This side we're going to do the very simple trucker's hitch. Okay, so remembering that I want this line not to be above my waist, I'm going to bring it down to about my waist height, and I'm going to create a slip knot, and this is for the trucker's hitch. I'm going to create a slip knot on the main standing line, pass my tail back through that loop, and I'm just going to pull on my tail up towards this way, pinch the 2 lines together like so, pass the tail over, reach through that pass, grab the other end of the tail, pull away from the tree like so. Now that's all locked off, hunky-dory. Cool. So that is how you set your ridgeline up. Now I have taken the liberty of attaching myself 2 loops or prusik loops to my line already. So what we're going to do is set up the first low and stealthy tarp tent. So to start off with, I'm going to get my tarp tent, I'm going to lay it out nice and square. I'm just going to take my loop at the end of my corner, grab a peg, pass the loop of the tarp through my prusik loop, pull back and put a peg in. I'm going to bring that wide, and I'm going to find my other corner over here, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. There we go. I can just pull my prusik loops nice and tight either side like so, and that is the main section of my tarp tent. Then what I'm going to do is go to the ground. I'm going to take the opposite corners and I'm going to peg those opposite corners out to almost directly underneath my pegs on my ridgeline. Then I'm just going to grab my final 2 pegs, go to the back of my tarp, find the middle loop on both of the sides, and I'm going to peg that down to the ground like so. Okay, so there is my first low profile tarp setup with ground sheet. So obviously I have the ground sheet here, I've got plenty of room to lay down in, coverage above my head, loads of room for my gear to the sides or to the back. I can get right back in here if it was quite bad. I have vision above me, below me and out in front of me. Of course, you want to set this up in the opposite direction to the wind, so the wind is hitting the back of your tarp, but I'm completely shielded in here and I've got all-round vision, or at least 3/4 of the way around me, complete vision. That's the first tarp setup. Obviously that's including the ridgeline. The next one is slightly different. So what we're going to do is keep it the same, except I'm going to take out, loosen my prusik loops, take out my top 2 pegs, like so. You will need more pegs for this setup, but it is more shielded. So move your prusik loop into the middle but one on both the sides. Pull my prusik loop tight. I'm going to grab 2 more pegs. I'm going to take my corners and I'm going to pin those down on the front, like so. And to avoid any rain coming in, I'm just going to bring my tarp there underneath itself and out the way and peg in one to the front here, like so. And then I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. Cool. Let's have a look. Same with this one. Making sure I'm pulling that end in there so it doesn't seep any water. It's the same with this side. Pull the end in like so it doesn't seep any water. But I've got another big old ground sheet. I haven't got the 360 vision, but I have got these 2 windbreakers on the side. So the only access the rain or people or animals have is this segment here. But I'm more than happy to tuck myself right back in here, like so, out of the way. All the wind is going over the top of me. If there's any wind direction change in the night, it's going to hit the 2 sides. If it comes in here, that's no problem at all. I can always bring the front pegs there and there up and kind of cocoon myself in if absolutely needed. There are your 2 setups using your ridgeline. Now I'm going to show you an even more basic setup, which is way more stealthy than these, and all it needs is 4 pegs and a stick. So let's take this down and I'll show you how to do the next setup. What we'll do is we'll get our 4 pegs first. As I say, this is the simplest form of tarp setup. So I'm just going to go around and peg out all 4 corners. That's literally what I'm going to do. So once you've done this, you are 50% done. You're going to take your stick, find your middle loop, pull it up. Okay, so that's 2 tall. So what we're going to do is by bit we're going to work out how wide these 2 pegs need to be. Then we're going to find the middle point again, pull up, and that's nice and tight now. So I'm going to put the base in first and tuck that under there like so. Obviously if you need to, go around and re-peg in once you've got your main stick in, like so. And if you want real security, tie a line to the front there and pin that down to the front. You've got loads of room underneath here to hunker down for the night. Obviously you can peg your other corners and straights down as well, but that will just provide you somewhere to get in and out of the wind and rain. So that's the last tarp tent setup. I like this one the least, but it is the easiest and it does give you the most space. So these have been the 3 tarp tent setups. Obviously you've got your flipped A-frame tarp, your A-frame tarp with the edges brought in, and this basic setup too. So these are all stealthy tarp setups that you can use on your own wild camping adventures and your own wild camping trips. Hopefully you've enjoyed, hopefully you've learned something. My name's Callum, this is the Just Callum channel. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and of course leave a nice positive comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.